Welcome to the episode on the astrology of January 2022. I'll discuss the New Year New Moon chart on January 2nd, 2022, which sets the tone for the coming year. I'll also share the key astro activity and sun sign forecast for January 2022. So stay tuned. Welcome to the episode on the astrology update for January 2022 and sun sign forecasts. I'll discuss the new year and new moon chart of January 2nd, 2022, which sets the tone for the coming year. I'll share the key astro activity of January 2022. Stay tuned till the end of the episode when I give the sun sign forecast for January for each sign. So check out these key astrological aspects in January. I will tell you what they are and go back and explain each one. I will also discuss the astrology chart of the new moon on January 2nd, which is the snapshot of astro energies for the coming year. January is a very weird month astrologically, with dense energies due to a Capricornian cluster, 2 planets transiting retrograde, and the lunar nodes changing signs, moving into Taurus and Scorpio after having transited Gemini and Sagittarius since May of 2020. January begins with a new moon in Capricorn hosting a stellium of Capricorn planets, including the Sun, Moon, Venus, and Pluto. It may feel like we're mountain goats, Capricorn's animal totem, hauling a heavy load up the mountain. That heavy burden is collective karma that needs to be freed up and cleared. Feels like there's a lot more that has to happen before the collective awakens and follows the Aquarian age keynote of freedom and unity consciousness. Okay, so here are the dates and activities astrologically in January 2022. On January 2nd, new moon in Capricorn shines in. January 14th, Mercury goes retrograde until February 3rd, 2022. It transits retrograde in Aquarius from January 14th to 25th, and then goes back retrograde in Capricorn from the 25th of January to February 3rd. On the 16th of January, Sun conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn. The 17th of January, full moon in Cancer with the Sun in Capricorn. On the 18th, Uranus goes direct in Taurus. On the 19th, lunar nodes switch signs to the south node transiting in Scorpio and the north node in Taurus. On the 19th, the Sun enters Aquarius. On the 23rd of January, Mercury Retrograde conjuncts the Sun in Aquarius. On the 24th, Mars transits into Capricorn, and we end the month on January 29th with Venus going direct in Capricorn. That's a lot of astrological transits occurring during the first month of 2022, setting up a mixed bag of energies for the year. Let me unpack it all for you chronologically for January. January initiates with karmic Capricorn keeping things slow and grim. But by month's end, Aquarius is building steam, soon to strike like lightning at the Aquarian new moon on February 1st, breaking free from the Capricornian restrictive energies. The tone for 2022 is set at the new moon in Capricorn on January 2nd, 2022, 1222, conveniently the day after New Year's. Out with the old and in with the new, both with corporations, companies, governments, and other power brokers. This hints at the last controlling grip of the global elite, their minions, and the politicos who carry out their agendas. Things might look dire or grim at month's onset, with all this karmic Capricornian energy trying to restrict and regulate the collective. Don't get discouraged if it looks like things are getting worse, especially with COVID restrictions and mandates. It's only temporary. Like I said, the last gasp of the old order dying hard. This initial new moon of 2021 indicates more breakdowns and transformation in the structures that rule our lives as Uranus in Taurus trines this moon, a precursor to more changes. Uranus and Saturn are still squaring each other, the old order and new paradigms fighting it out, while we are all kept in the holding pattern. The new moon on January 2nd occurs at 12 degrees Capricorn. The Sabian symbol for 12 degrees Capricorn is a student on nature lecturing, or as Dane Rodar, the original person who popularized Sabian symbols as an archetypal system to symbolize the 360 degrees of the zodiac, describes 12 degrees of Capricorn as, quote, an illustrated lecture on natural science reveals little-known aspects of life. This symbolizes the need to understand physicality, including our bodies. Not enough information was released by mainstream media during the pandemic about the body's natural abilities to rally immune response toward viral invasion. Holistic medicine through use of supplements, herbs, and other antivirals as a way to boost immunity was not propitiated to the public in the past 2 years. More will be revealed in the coming times about the body's ability to overcome threats to health. We gain knowledge of the meaning of life as much by overcoming physical limitation as through inner reflection on spiritual matters. Passing on the life lessons that you have learned. This Sabian symbol speaks to the value of wisdom over information. In our internet and social media society, everyone spouts sound bites of information without having the experience or wisdom to really understand what they are purporting to know. It is the sages of society who have lived and studied the truth who will come to the forefront in the new age. Despite my Debbie Downer diatribe of a Capricornian cluster of planets kicking off the new year, perhaps feeling grim and restrictive, there are intense cosmic energies beaming in from galactic sources to mitigate and launch 2022 and our consciousness to a higher frequencies. These galactic rays of increased light and consciousness are foreseen in the Mayan calendar, also called the Tzolk'in, Tzolkin, beaming in from the 9th dimension. No, not the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th dimension, but the 9th dimension. The 9th dimension is beyond time and space. These are intense downloads of spiritual light. Go back and listen to my podcast on the Gayatri Mantra and chant it to help you anchor these high frequencies into your body and into your life. I'll post another podcast to describe the different dimensions of consciousness from the 1st through the 9th. According to the Mayan calendar, we are traveling through a 20-day core ascension portal from December 30th, 2021 through January 18th, 2022. In simple terms, this means we are leaving the past behind collectively and individually and diving through the quantum field into a new arising future. Of course, the choice is yours to stay in a crumbling third-dimensional matrix or shift into a field of potentialities that we will anchor down to the earth in the coming months and years. And that's the key. We are anchoring or grounding these higher dimensional portal energies into our lives through our physical bodies and our energetic physiology through the chakra system, nadis, and meridians. This is a highly kundalini activating time. Seek time from your day-to-day life during these 20 days to run energy through your body, through exercise, yoga, breathwork, mantra, and other spiritual practices. Again, these 20 portal days begin on December 30th, 2021, and go through January 18th, 2022. Luna Joy is a colleague of mine who is a visionary healer and Mayan calendar teacher. She leads groups to sacred sites to activate the earth grid or ley lines. I participated in a group activation she did in Sedona for the 11-11-11 on November 11th, 2011. Aluna Joy describes these 20 portal days in the Mayan calendar as thus, and I quote her: fresh cosmic energy coming from the great central sun begins to descend into our physical body starting at the crown chakra. At the same time, newly upgraded energy coming from the core of the earth begins to rise up into our physical body beginning at the root chakra. This process is very much like when a lightning bolt strikes the earth. When a lightning bolt descends from the sky, the earth's energy also reaches up to meet the descending bolt. This merging point of descending cosmic energy with the rising physical energy reach each other at a very powerful center point, our hearts. Then the cosmic energy descending from the great central sun will continue down through our chakras until it is grounded within our physical body and anchored into the core of the earth. Our ascending physical energy will also pass up through our heart and rise up through our crown and beyond until it reaches and anchors to the great central sun. This process takes 20 days. End of quote by Aluna Joy. So again, these 20 portal days of ascending energies go from December 30th, 2021 through January 18th, 2022. Take advantage of this time of heightened spiritual vibrations. And of course, other planets in our solar system want to get in on this galactic action. And guess who is acting as conduit for this energy coming from great central sun to our Earth? The Great Awakener, Uranus, who is symbolized by lightning as he rocks our world and blows our mind. Uranus is the great galactic gateway to higher dimensions. Uranus goes direct during the portal gateway. On the last day of the gateway, Uranus grabs the lead, lighting the way in a lightning-like way. If you haven't been jarred awake yet, Uranus will electrocute your consciousness with a higher voltage. Things accelerate even more when Uranus transits direct on January 18th in Taurus. Uranus has been retrograde since August 19th, 2021. The sleeping giant of collective revolutionary awareness was simmering behind the scenes. Uranus's keynote is anything for freedom. No one puts baby in a corner when Uranus is roused from his slumber. Where freedom feels threatened, Uranus strikes like lightning, shocking and waking people up to take back their innate rights and sovereignty as stated in the laws of the land. Sounds like a superhero. Uranian lightning. Between the Mayan Ascension portal days, Uranus going direct, Pluto conjunct the sun, and a full moon in mid-January, it's going to be a wild ride. During the last few days of the Ascension portal, there are other planetary activities getting into the galactic groove, including Pluto in Capricorn conjuncting the sun on January 16th. Sure to bring another power play from the control agenda. Intense energies are available that day. Watch for confrontations and explosive situations. This is the day before the full moon in Capricorn with the sun in Capricorn and moon in Cancer. Capricornian control of the 3D matrix wants you to stay put and stay scared. Cancer moon asks that you find your comfort and don't let anyone take it away from you. Full moons bring things to a head. They are the apex of the lunar cycle. They signify endings, not beginnings. Capricorn rules business and economic concerns. Tightening the belt economically and physically may be indicated this coming year. I predict that we will be getting some dire news about the economy around this full moon on January 17th. Certainly, the announcement of interest rates rising for mortgages, car, and more will be trotted out. I have also told the cryptocurrency community that this is a tough time for crypto markets, and I don't see them fully rallying until the Aquarian new moon on February 1st. On this full moon, January 17th, the sun is at 27 degrees Capricorn and the moon is at 27 degrees Cancer. The Sabian symbol for this full moon at 27 degrees Cancer is, quote, a violent storm in a canyon filled with expensive homes, unquote. The keynote is a confrontation with a social upheaval demanding the reconsideration of static values. The deeper implications of the scene depicted in the symbol are that the socio-cultural elite can always see its position and security challenged by forces beyond its control, even if it may be successful in protecting itself from destruction. The individual may not be able to depend on the standards and values he has acquired through education and through a relatively sheltered and rich life. He has to rise to the occasion and perhaps to undergo an inner metamorphosis as a result of the crisis he has been able to accept as a personal challenge. So this symbol does speak to economic challenges and destructive activities in the future. So as we study astrology more, we realize that in cosmic order, we can read signs and symbols and we can see what's coming next for us collectively and individually. Speaking of the economy and scarcity, lack, fiscal fluctuations, and shifting sands of financial fortunes, the lunar nodes switch signs on January 19th into Taurus and Scorpio. The nodes of the moon have been transiting Gemini and Sagittarius since June 4th, 2020. The south node in Gemini and the north node in Sagittarius from June 4th, 2020 through January 19th, 2022. This has given rise to our current climate of polarity and divisiveness. First, in 2020, it was political polarities of pro-Trumpers versus anti-Trump, Republicans versus Democrat, and more. So we were bombarded with the rhetoric and diatribe from both sides of the political fences. In 2021, the Gemini North Node polarizing turned into division over the vaccines. This wasn't aligned with political persuasion as many assumed. If families weren't divided in 2020 by being pro or anti-Trump, they were certainly divided in 2021 over the vaccines. Many were against vaccines because they were health aware and immunity informed and leery about the effects of vaccine on their body long term. Very Sagittarian-like and forward-thinking. They weren't buying into the Gemini-like quick fix vax rhetoric. Many got the vaccine because they believed the Gemini truth distortion facts perpetuated by the media, Fauci, and other big pharma advocates. Remember, Gemini is the silver-tongued one and a great salesperson and will say anything to make the sale. So we're going to be relieved to be out of that Sagittarius and Gemini axis that has been going on for 18 months, where the truth is distorted and everybody has their own version of the truth and everybody aligns with what they think is the truth. I am so relieved. However, the lunar nodes are shifting into the money axis in astrology with the north node in Taurus and south node in Scorpio. Yep, we're going to see big shifts in financial markets, including cryptocurrency, from January 19th, 2022 through July 2023, when the nodes travel through Taurus and Scorpio. Stay tuned for my upcoming podcast on the nodal axis of Taurus and Scorpio and what it means for each sign and the groups that have that Taurus North Node and Scorpio South Node placement in their natal charts. Venus goes direct in Capricorn on January 29th after being retrograde since December 19th, 2021. Don't worry about your financial situation during January. Business can be slow and people will feel sluggish. It may be dark and dreary on many fronts. Venus retrograde requires us to be patient with initiating new activities, plans, and prosperity for 2022. This is giving us additional time to release and integrate our lessons from 2021. Use this Venus retrograde cycle to clear karmic baggage you have been carrying, especially if you didn't release it during 2020 and 2021. Mercury joins Venus retrograde, which focuses on inner process, forces us to go within, clear and release even more, and connect deeply with your inner light and power. Mercury goes retrograde on January 14th through February 3rd, 2022, offering time to reassess and reevaluate our intentions for 2022 and integrate some of these new energies that are pulsing into the planet. We may not be ready to propel ourselves into the next phase quite yet. This will be a weird Mercury retrograde cycle as it begins with Mercury transiting retrograde in Aquarius from January 14th to 25th, but then it falls back into Capricorn retrograde from January 25th through February 3rd, 2022. So I predict the first part of Mercury retrograde will be difficult for traveling and very chaotic. There will be many false starts and delays and reschedules, most likely because of COVID and Omicron's rapid infiltration around the world. Then when we get into the retrograde cycle with Mercury in Capricorn from January 25th through February 3rd, we could feel like we're walking in molasses. Don't give up hope. February fosters fabulous options for new beginnings, growths, and gains. February offers many opportunities to muse on our future with a Lunar New Year kickoff on February 1st with 3 planets in Aquarius. Mercury shifts back into Aquarius on February 15th. Get ready to launch into new frontiers and new dimensions. Stay tuned to find out your forecast for your sun sign in January 2022. And now for the part of the episode we've all been waiting for. Zodiac sign forecasts for the month of January 2022. Listen up for your sign. Capricorn, happy birthday, Capricorn. 4 planets in your sign during January slows things down for everyone. Fresh starts are delayed as everyone is forced to clear karma before they launch into 2022. Capricorn is quite happy, though, as you need this break with 2 planets retrograding in your sign. It's a good time to clean house and unload the unnecessary. You get to revisit plans and improve existing systems. You have 4 lucky days during your birthday month on January 2nd, 3rd, 29th, and 30th. Aquarius. Aquarius is chomping at the bit to get going and blast off. Debbie Downer, retrograde Venus in Capricorn during January tells you to calm down and chill out. January is a good time for you to regroup and recoup your energies. Aquarius, plan and strategize your career success for 2022. Early Aquarians may want to put off those birthday parties until February. Lunar New Year, Sun and Moon in Aquarius on February 1st is your launch date into the galactic spheres of expansion. Make sure you are ready to fly by then. Your lucky days, Aquarius, are January 4th, 5th, and 31st. Pisces, you are dodging Debbie Downer Capricornian bullets. Capricorn planets will help you work hard and due diligence. But life gets so much better for Pisces. Jupiter is now in your sign. It's a Piscean party with jovial Jupiter and nifty Neptune. Your dreams are inspired to become realities in 2022. Make your plans to swim in the waters of your success during March when Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and Neptune prosper Pisces. Your lucky days are January 6th and 7th. Aries. You are catching some cardinal crapola from Sun, Venus, and Pluto in Capricorn, squaring your Sun in early January. Testing and initiations nonstop. You may feel resistant and sluggish. Work through karmic patterns and use this time to go within. Enjoy this break from the fast lane. Your life will speed up in February when planets in Aquarius stoke Aries fires of creativity. Your lucky days are January 8th and 9th. Taurus. You are adjusting and analyzing your core foundations and beliefs in early January. When giant changemaker Uranus goes direct on January 18th in your sign, you feel the accelerations and activations. Finances improve, new opportunities abound. Set goals and intentions in early January and align with the universe and your spiritual guidance to make things happen according to the divine plan of your life. Taurus, your lucky days are January 10th, 11th, and 12th. Gemini, set your goals and reevaluate your priorities. Take this time out with retrograde planets to rethink, revise, and reassess your direction and associations in your life. You need to become very clear-headed and focused by February. The Aquarian whirlwind will pick you up and spit you out unless you use January to become grounded and focused. Your lucky days, Gemini, are January 13th and 14th. Cancer. Capricornian planets want to kick some Cancerian butt. Don't get caught up in the fear and loathing of doom and gloom Capricornian Debbie Downer. Retreat to your safe place. Self-care and comfort recommended in early January. Find some time to rest and regroup before the Aquarian accelerations begin. Jupiter in Pisces sends love and blessings and hope for the future. Travels await you this year. Your lucky days, Cancer, are January 15th, 16th, and 17th. Leo. Leo is trying to jumpstart their battery in January and want to kick it up to fifth gear. However, retrograde planets and Capricornian cluster are saying slow down and smell the coffee. Reboot and regroup. Luckily, Mars in Sagittarius is igniting fellow fire sign Leo's creative sparks and rekindling hope and optimism for the future. Your lucky days, Leo, are January 18th and 19th. Virgo. Early January provides smooth sailing for Virgo thanks to the Sun, Mercury, and Pluto in Capricorn, sending some nice vibes, supporting you to stay focused on task to help you set up new agendas, projects, and proposals. It will be another year of rebirthing yourself. Virgo receives a nice boost from Pluto and Capricorn, transforming your life in positive ways. Jupiter in Pisces opposing your Sun may be withholding the goods and forces reevaluation of finances. Your lucky days, Virgo, are January 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Libra. Sociable Libra withdraws and retreats in January as the Capricornian cluster turns it down a notch for you. The mundane requires your attention and you may feel bored. Luckily, Saturn transiting Aquarius is giving you a karmic payout from past good deeds. Life gets fun and fast in February, so take your rest now. Your lucky days, Libra, are January 23rd and 24th. Scorpio. Early January should be fruitful for Scorpio thanks to planets in Capricorn portending possibilities for 2022. Jupiter in Pisces grants grace and boons to fellow water sign Scorpio. Money flows in, and there is plenty of work to do. Pace yourself and don't jump into the deep end too soon. You don't have to run the 2022 marathon in 1 month. Your lucky days, Scorpio, are January 25th and 26th. Sagittarius. Mars in your sign as the year begins adds pep to your step. Giddy up, Sag. Tally up for a terrific 2022. Capricorn planets in your money house. Perk up potential profitable endeavors. Your values are constantly changing, so align with what feels right for your future. Soulful Sagittarian sojourns to new dimensions in body, mind, and spirit get amped up by Aquarian energies in February. Be open to receive new inspiring influences that will boost your creative juices. Your lucky days, Sag, are January 1st, 27th, and 28th. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Astrology of January 2022. Make sure you share with your friends so they know what's happening. And download, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine signing off, sending you healing astro vibrations through the quantum field.